So Friday, my baby's nice. Went to have a sushi picnic at the park, all cute with my fam. I get home and I had been inside the house for like 2 days, so I wanted to chill in my car and like just get some sun, just chill. So I was in my car. So I get home and I'm chilling in my driveway in my car and I'm just like on my phone bullshitting. And then my brother calls me and he's like, why was Escondido Police Department looking for you? They were at the house looking for you. 4 cops came looking, all this shit. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? He's like, yeah, I have it on camera. No one was home, but I have it on camera and they said your name. Like, I have them saying something like Jocelyn, and they're looking in the trash can. And
the trash can? Damn.
They walked to the side of the house. They were in the backyard. And he's like, you can hear them clearly say your name. He's like, watch, like, come look. He's like, why, is there like a reason why they would be looking for you? And I'm like, no. Right away, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I start tripping because I'm like,
you're like, cops? No,
cops?
that's not,
yeah, no.
Especially at your house.
Yeah, and then I call V and I was like, oh, maybe it has to do with that incident that happened where we reported that guy. But then I thought, why would they go to my house though and like look in my trash, and why wouldn't they call me, like what?
Yeah, you left your phone number, right?
Yeah. They have my info. And so so I go to my house and I'm looking at the videos, and like you clearly see 4 cops like coming to the door, and then they're like looking in the house, and then they go off to the side and they peek in the trash can, and then they're like gone for a while. So they're obviously in the backyard. You could just hear my dogs barking, like going crazy. And like the audio is a little bit choppy.
They just went into your backyard? That shit is illegal.
They made themselves comfortable.
Yeah.
Damn.
So según ellos, the door was open. The side door was open.
And it said, welcome. Come in.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
The dog greeted them.
So they were gone for like a couple of minutes. So they were obviously like looking in my backyard. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on? And so I go, and then my dad's there and he's like, oh, like what happened? I'm like, dude, I don't know. I'm like freaking out because I'm like, this is weird. Like, this is just weird. Like, cops don't just go to your house, show up and look through your shit, like, unless they have a warrant or something. And so okay, so before I go to my parents and watch the video, I'm like on the phone. I call and I tell them like, hey, like, I just got a call from my brother saying that Escondido Police Department was at my home looking for me. Can you please give me some insight on like what's going on? And then so I gave her my address, and she was like, okay, like, let me look at the report and the call. She was like, oh yeah, like Jocelyn? I was like, yeah, this is Jocelyn. She was like, oh, everything's been handled. Like, you're not wanted. They're not looking for you. Everything's been handled. Yeah, just go ahead and just forget about it.
Resume with your day, or
yeah,
what the fuck?
Sure. After you just went.
So I was like, can you give the officer that was there my phone number and have him call me, please? And no one called me yet. So then I go to my parents and I look at the video, and then I actually see it, and I'm like, oh no. And then you hear it, because you could vaguely hear some things, like it's a little bit choppy, but you can hear them say Jocelyn, and then something like along the lines of, oh yeah, she'll pop up.
Damn.
And so I'm like, oh hell no. So I called the police station again. I'm like, yeah, I need to talk to your supervisor, because I have video and audio recording of the police officers in my backyard, and I was like, I just called, but this completely changes things. Like, this is not okay, and I would like to file a complaint. And my brother too. My brother's all about his rights, so he actually went to the police station.
Okay.
So he was on his way to the police station. I was on the phone with them. And so the sergeant calls me back, and he was like, he obviously wasn't there, so he was just like kind of reading the notes off. And he was like, oh, yeah, so apparently someone stole something from Escondido Post-Acute Rehab, which is like the rehab home like by my house. There's it's like a senior home, but like also like a recovery, like medical recovery center, like rehab type place.
Okay.
So apparently someone stole something from there. And he was like, yeah, we actually have the name. Let me just look for it. And so he was like, yeah, so someone stole, it was a girl. She stole something from them. And she just like took off down Gamble Street, headed towards Lincoln. And so we were in the area looking for her. She's actually known in the Escondido Police Department because she's a frequent offender and she was like on drugs or something. And so he like tells me the name and I'm like, I totally know who that is. And I was like, yeah, I went to high school with this girl. I haven't seen her in years. And so apparently this girl stole something, took off, hid in someone's garage on Gamble Street. And when they found her, she told the cops that she was going to Jocelyn's house.
What?
So that's how the cops knew my name.
So that and they thought that you were like an accomplice and shit.
They thought I was
her friend,
or they wanted to check. They wanted to check with me to see if she was really going to my house, but they were looking for her. So I don't think
she was hiding.
They hadn't found her yet.
Oh shit.
So I think the neighbor came and was like, "Oh yeah, she said she was going to Jocelyn's house," and that's why the cops were like, "Oh, okay, so this is Jocelyn's house." She'll pop up, not me, but the girl. So I think like, I don't know the timeline of what happened, but, so pretty much like the cop that I was on the phone with couldn't really tell me like how they knew my name. But when my brother went, he actually spoke to the police officer that was at my house. And I guess that's what happened, was that this girl pretty much just like used me and my name and said she was going to my house.
Minutes to get home. Like my brother drove us back. But yeah, they did that to me. And my mom, which is, in a way good, because my parents at the minute that was happening, my mom was good, right? Because it took time for it to hit me. My parents thought that I had popped a pill or done something. And I was like, I was offended at the fact that they would think that, because I was like, dude, I just went to like
party
a freaking rave with my really, really good friend. If I really wanted to do something like that, I would have done that at that scene. Like, why would I do it at a fucking quinceañera with my son and my fucking parents, and my brother? Like, I would never do that. Like, I'm not even about that life no more, So I'm just like, it was just super scary. I feel like it did something to my soul. Like, it legit did do something to my soul. It fucked me up mentally, physically, and I'm just so thankful with God that nothing happened. And after talking to my mom, like the next day, like you could see like she was like coming down from it. She's like, I can't understand how people can just do these kinds of drugs, because like you feel like shit the next day. And I was like,
so your mom drank it too?
My mom, so I had that.
But she was
drink.
Coming down the next day. She felt it.
Yeah, so she had a little bit of dude. It was bad. But see, God is good. If that wouldn't have happened, if my mom wouldn't have drank that, even my mom said it. Like, I would have never believed you. I would have thought you did some pinche pendejada. She's like, so she was like my ally, you could say, because if she wouldn't have drank that last bit of my drink, at this point, my mom would have probably disowned me, thinking like I did some stupid ass shit or whatever. Like, and I'm just like, wow, why do you guys think so low of me?
Crazy.
But it's like, yeah, it's crazy.
How the fuck
are these? She thinks it was ketamine.
You think so? How the fuck are these Mexicans getting this shit, dude?
You know what? At this point, anyone.
So, okay. So I think we talked about this maybe like about a couple months ago, about a story that I read online. There's one that like it's really popular with these two white girls, and they're at the club, and she said that like her and her friend are like fucking dancing and shit. They're like making nothing of it. It's like girls' night, right? And these like 2 or 3 group of guys, that are kind of like close to her. Like, they come up to them with drinks and they're like, here, you guys drink, this is for you guys. And then they're like, well, what the fuck? We didn't order these. Like, nah, fuck no. And then the girls, and I don't know if I remember the story if her friend ended up drinking it and she didn't. And she was like, man, fuck that. I'm not fucking drinking this shit. Because she was like, it felt sketchy as fuck.
Did she know the guys?
No, she didn't. It was just random people from the club. And she said these guys kept on insisting like, here, drink it. And then I was like, nah, here, you drink it. And that the guy was like, nah, we bought it for you guys. This is for you guys. And she's like, nah, fuck here, you drink it. And then she was like, if it smelled like fucking, like, she's like, it smelled like bad not like a bad night, since the beginning. Since those guys were giving me this vibe, they were just kept on staring at us. And then my friend was drinking it. I guess she drank some of it, and she was like, they just kept on staring at my friend. And she said that as soon as they walked out of the club, that her friend practically like said desmayó también, like practically fucking
once
just like
the air hits you.
Once the air hits you,
that's what happened.
It's like boom, like
a whole bunch of people, and like they did look older, like your typical older Mexican with the big panza, like it was just really crazy. It was really crazy because I felt perfectly fine. I even told Jocelyn, I looked at my pictures, my videos to try to like remind myself anything. Everything's pitch black. From the minute I
remember that day you were putting a lot of snaps and you're like, oh hell yeah, we're gonna get fucked up tonight. I'm not driving.
I'm not
She's
driving.
Like, fuck yeah.
It was just like,
and that's crazy because you had that vibe going on, like, oh, I want to fucking just chill and like and party it up. Yeah. Damn.
And I'm like the kind of person, I'm at the dance floor 24. Like I don't.
You were dancing. I saw Ezekiel dancing with maybe your cousin, I think.
No, he took out some girls to dance.
Yeah, see, so I'm just like,
so
damn.
We're just dancers. Like we love to dance, but it's crazy. And it was open bar. Open bar. Like we didn't have to pay shit. Like it was just like crazy.
Motherfuckers, if you're out there putting drinks and we find you, we're gonna beat your ass. Fuck that, dude. Somebody, and there is like, I've seen like little hacks where they have like, there's like a nail polish that you put on, and then you can test the drink, and it tells you like if it turns a certain color, it means it's tainted.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
So I mean, it's just people gotta be fucking careful. You never know who the fuck is staring at you. You never know who the hell is keeping an eye on you, dude.
Well, her mom said something like, "You have to be careful. They could put that shit in your soda."
Yeah, it can be anything.
That's the thing. And so, sadly, my son was part of it where he like saw the whole thing.
Yeah.
And he was aware of it, and I had to like sit down and talk to him because I feel like this is like a fabulous opportunity, even for my brother, my 16-year-old brother. Like, you're so gone.
And that's what that girl was like, dude, fuck though. She's like, I could only imagine if both of us had taken that drink, where the fuck we would have ended up with nobody taking care of us. Nobody fucking looking out for us. Like these 4 guys would have been able to fucking just
one guy
they're with
can
us.
Pick them up.
They're with us. No, the thing is that they supposedly you're so trash from the club that they're helping you go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like if at a club nobody would really fucking distinguish it. You know what I mean?
No.
Like at the end of the day, that's the mentality about it. That it's like, like you have the security guards. People are there to secure if people are fighting. But like the security guards aren't really looking out to fucking see who the fuck's drunk.
They're not babysitting.
There goes another drunk bitch. She's like gonzer, and her homies are taking her. You know what I mean? So it's like, damn, it is. I think a lot of people. That's another eye opener for our listeners and stuff, and people that kind of tune in because that's harsh. I can never imagine that. And then right now we're getting back into the whole thing of getting back to to the party scene and doing like events. Women take care of that because I think
they've been indoors for how long?
Yeah, and even like stalkers and fucking guys and shit. Like now it's getting even more weirder. Like I've seen like videos of like a guy fucking like creeping in through like climbing through fucking through like one story and jump into like a girl's balcony, and now she's like dancing like she's doing like a TikTok video. And then like the guy's like, come here, and she's like, what the fuck? And she like looks over at the fucking sliding door, and that fool's like, hey, can I come in? And she was like, no, get the fuck, and she's like, no, stay right there. She's like, leave. And, it ended up being like a guy from our apartment.
I literally try to have it like with me all the time. And it's like, that shit wouldn't have fucking helped me in no fucking shape or form. Like you can have a fucking real gun and you're fucked.
Yeah, you're fucked, man.
You're fucked.
Damn, that's
like,
insane, man.
It's a trip.
That's a sad story, man.
That's a very sad story.
I'm sorry they fucked up your night like that.
Yeah, me too. I'm just thankful that they fucked my mom's up too, because she was my ally. Like, no, seriously.
Yeah.
She
backed you up on that.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, you could see my mom, and she was like dying the next day, like dying. Damn. Well, my mom's never done drugs. She'll have like one beer. You're lucky if we can get my mom to drink 2 beers.
Oh, so she tried it a little.
Well, not that she tried it. It's just like it was just in that moment. She says it was like a motherly
instinct thing, like
kind of thing.
No tanto.
It was just like, she
yeah.
saw that I had already drank the line. I don't know how, like maybe grabbing my stuff, I gave her my drink, something.
Okay.
And it's just honestly was just God protecting me, taking care of me. And he's like, you're gonna need your mom to have your back tomorrow.
Somebody drop a fucking pill on your shit, dude. That's another.
Who knows if it even pill? Like my brother thought it was tranquilizer, like horse tranquilizer. He called it something.
Ketamine.
Something.
So how did they just drop it in your drink too?
At this point,
I think ketamine is liquid.
Yeah, I believe it is.
That's what I'm saying. So like how like I mean, that's just crazy. You know what I mean? Like coming over and then like fucking without somebody seeing you fucking drop something in somebody's drink, dude. That's fucking
You're at a
insane.
quinceañera.
Damn. And then you probably can't even remember that guy's face, huh?
I can remember his face because he asked me to dance 3 times.
Damn.
Yeah, I can. But what now? Like, but it's.
Damn.
So yeah, guys.
Fuck. All right. Watch what you're drinking, ladies, man. Be safe out there,
even
man.
if it's
There's
fucking
a lot of
water.
fucking perverts. There's a lot of
That's
fucking
the
weirdos,
thing.
man. And it's just, it comes back to like the thing that we were talking about earlier. It's just like men not being fucking direct with what they want. You know what I mean? And it's just even, I don't know if maybe it's like a guy or girl thing that we play with too. Like, I mean, I can see women also playing with guys' emotions and stuff like that. And I think one of the biggest things right now is like probably like the OnlyFans and like everybody kind of doing their own porn shit right now. I think that's opened up the gate to a lot of like creepers. You know what I mean? Because it's like, even chicks are like, I've heard chicks like, I've been wanting to run around my neighborhood, but fuck that. I don't want somebody to fucking follow me home. Bitch, well, yeah, if you're out there fucking putting your shit out on blast, like, hey, this is my ass, this is my titties.
I
like,
work out at this gym.
And I work out at this gym. Like,
at this
motherfuckers
time.
are going to stalk. Motherfuckers are going to stalk you. They're going to, like, you know, try to, and as weird as it is, you know, it's just motherfuckers that don't have game or, you know, it's a sneakier way of, like, you know, coming up to girls or they just don't even know how to. So it's just like, damn, it's just, women got to be careful out there, man. You guys got to definitely, you know, like put your guard up and stuff and not let it down, man. That's insane. Fuck, it looks like we all had kind of like a weird thing.
I know, that's when I saw that you took Jasmine to get
the self-defense.
classes, I was like, props for her.
But imagine, like you said, man, once you fucking groupie, no, pues ya la verga, no, pues ya tú es más aguado que nada. You're fucking just like limping around and shit. But no, but yeah, man, I think, you know, self-defense class is very important. I mean, I grew up with like, you know, a little bit of bullying here and there and shit. You know what I mean? It's just like the basic shit, you know, like, I guess you just have your normal, like, people that pick on you, you know, probably just more bigger and shit like that. But my dad always asked me to like take the self-defense classes, and I never kind of did. And then like the times when I wanted to fight, I would always get my ass beat. So then I was just like, maybe I shouldn't just fight. Maybe I should just stay calm and be a lover, not a fighter, you know.
Because I don't know how to fight.
Because I don't know how to fight.
I got in a lot of fights.
You did.
Growing up.
Oh my
I mean, I would most of the time get my ass beat, but I got a lot of respect for never backing down.
Well, yeah. I mean, you get that respect, but I mean, at the end of the day, when you're fucking in bed. But I also got
a black eye.
I know, when you got a black eye and you're fucking.
Gotta wear my sunglasses in class and shit.
Oh hell no! See, I wasn't crazy like that.
No. I mean, it wasn't a lot. Like, it was like very little, but I mean, still, you know, I wish I would have taken some of them so that way you can defend yourself. At the end of the day, like, you know, like that self-defense class. Shout out to North County MMA. That held that. It's part of their. I think there's some pictures coming out this week, but they hosted a free event for like kids, you know, and it was really cool because it was like 3 or 4 instructors. And like the girls were, you know, showing them just basic moves, like, you know, if somebody's got you by your shirt or strangling you, you know, like the way to, like, you know, put your arm up and above their head and like swipe it off, you know, and then you kind of just turn, and how you're able to break away from them. And then kind of just like if you're ever pushed down on the ground, how you're supposed to put your feet up so that person can't come from above and attack you, you know? So you're kind of just like holding them out with your feet and trying to kick them anywhere in their face and stuff like that. And you being able to break your fall. Like, you break a fall, you know, you kind of put your hands back and, you know, you don't let your head hit the ground. So just things like that are just kind of, that I can see that, I mean, Jazzy got kind of scared towards the end. Because I think they started hitting the punching bag, and then like she saw like too much action kind of going on. There's too much like hitting and violence, and she I don't know. She probably just tripped out. Yeah, she's girly, and so she was, I think it was like a little bit too much towards the end.
Yeah, he threw her in the fire.
I threw her in the fire.
Yeah,
I was like, hey girl, come on, you can do it. And she was a little bit cool. She saw like one of her friends that she knew, so I think it kind of like warmed her up for it. But kind of towards the end, I think she kind of just like felt intimidated, and she didn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, because they teach you how to kick ass.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, and it's because maybe like too, like you don't know that there's people out there that want to hurt you. And imagine you like somebody telling you like, oh well, if somebody tries to attack you, like what, when, what
like
do you mean?
New...
Yeah, you're like brain starts running. You start fucking thinking about other shit. You're like, damn, like when the fuck is this gonna happen? I don't want to fight. I don't.
It's traumatizing them.
So it is a little bit traumatizing. And plus, you see like a bunch of little kids, like little boys. They're like, yeah, and they're fucking loving it. So they're making even more noise, and they're just like going off on each other, and they're like punching bags, and all the little kids run to the punching bag. And they start fucking hitting it. I think that's just kind of like where it kind of just got overwhelming for her, and I was like, all right, then let's go.
She's like, I'm not doing this.
She's like, I don't know about this.
My niece, which is the girl right there in the middle.
Oh, she was there too.
Yeah,
sweet.
so that's actually Victor's daughter.
Okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
Sin, right?
Sin. Yeah.
And so I've always considered her my niece, even though we're not related, and we've always just considered each other like family. And she is hardcore. Like,
what?
She goes to competitions. Like, she kicks ass. And she's fucking tiny and little. And she kicks ass.
That's
Damn,
dope.
that's badass.
She's like into like karate and like all these.
Okay,
she's always getting like new belts and all this stuff. So.
I know. That's what I told Jazzy.
Yeah.
I was like, you want to come through to the to kids jiu-jitsu, and it's from like 5 to 6 p.m. every Monday through Friday and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, and the guy's like, I mean, I know the guy, the owner of the gym too. So he's like, yeah, come through. He's like, I'll hook you guys up, and you guys get some free lessons or whatever's or whatnot, and just kind of go from there. And I mean, at the end of the day, I kind of want to just keep her active. Like this year, my goal is like as like beginning school, and then like kind of just looking back at like my faults and like things that I've done in the past. I really want to just kind of change it around and be like, be more involved with the teacher, get to know the teacher, get to know the background of like the school and stuff like that. I mean, not that I've been too far away from it, but definitely get more involved and have her also do like more sports or dancing, stuff that she wants to do. So at the end of the day, it's not just being wasted on a tablet here at the house or even just, I don't know. Like, I mean, I feel like, going back into like relationship type of things, like, I think we men, like there's so much shit that we do that.
So much shit that you don't do.
So much shit that we don't do. Yeah. So much shit that we do. Yeah, correction. So much shit that we don't do that we kind of just like shrug it off. And then we're like, especially if we have like our significant other helping out, a lot of times it's put on more on the table for you guys. And we're expected as like, oh, mothers, like you guys have to do this and you guys have to do that. And I mean, like the same thing I tell my partner, like, dude, you got to tell me, like, I mean, if you don't see me doing something, like, it would be nice to know too, and for you to remind me.
But that's another thing we have to do.
And that's another thing that you guys have to do. But I'm just like, man, at the end of the day, like, if I'm not like making you happy and I'm not doing it, like, then you have to be able to be communicative and tell me about it, like, so then I can fix it. Because obviously, like, the more you nag at me and the more you tell me, it's gonna break through, and we're gonna be able to fucking fix it. You know what I mean? But if you also don't remind me, or if you sí, que se me olvida un mes después or 2 meses, and you don't tell me anything, and then you just let it bottle up for 3, 4, 5 months, and then you explode on me, and I'm like, what the fuck? Where is this coming from? And then I'm just like,
what do you mean where it's coming from? It's been there. It's just been an issue that
I've decided to shrug off, or that it doesn't matter, or that it doesn't pertain me, or whatever it is.
You guys are so busy with like work.
So,
like I try to be understanding too, but I can see it from her point of view where it's really annoying.
And it is like, I can see that, and I'm just like, well, I mean, it takes 2 to be right, and it takes 2 to be wrong. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, I feel like we have to be able to communicate more. And even with Jaslyn too, I'm like, dude, you have to be able to tell me, like, hey, Dad, I need this, I want this from you, like, tell me these things, because at the end of the day, like, I'm a fucking pothead too. Like, growing up as a fucking with a pothead dad, like, what? Okay, what was yesterday? Oh, we had this. Oh, yes. So I mean, I'm at fault too. Like, I mean, there's a lot of faults that I bring into the table too. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a whole perfect thing that's going on, but like reminders and stuff like that. And then me too, like taking the next step and also being conscious of that. I think being conscious of it and not shrugging it off, because at the end of the day, like, yeah, I can be like, like if I don't do something and then, I don't know, I lost that one. But like, I mean, like I'm saying, it's just, if we're able to communicate more between us, each other, we're able to know what's going to happen and how this family is going to function. And if we don't have any communication, I think it just falls back, and we're just holding grudges against each other. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's like, oh, you didn't do this, or you forgot about this. And then we're not going into the solution part, but we're going into like the more of a fighting now. So I mean,
you should have her send you some calendar reminders. That's
some
what
calendar
I do.
reminders.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I
So I've
do
been
a
having-
lot of
yeah.
calendar reminders,
Okay.
and then you just add the person as an invite.
As an invite.
Because I've had issues where like he forgets, he doesn't remember, whatever.
Everything you just said.
Yeah, everything. And then it's like it's there. It reminds him, and it's annoying.
And
him.
at that point, it's like it's
on
on
you.
your phone. It's on.
Yeah, it's on your phone and your tablet.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I think
It helps.
with nowadays, like, I mean, it makes it easier and stuff. And if you really don't want to be there, like, I mean, like, you know, it's pretty hard to not show it, like to show it, you know what I mean? Like if you really don't want to be there, like you really have to try not to not be there. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot of leniency in between our families or between our characters and stuff like that. But then like I can see how I've taken advantage of that, you know, from my partner. And then I'm just like, you know, I just want to be able to know, because I also don't want to take advantage, because at the end of the day, at the end of our relationship, I don't want you to call me a fucking psychopath or a sociopath, and you know, and because shit,
just kidding.
because shit, you know, that's going on.
Because I guess there's a test, right?
And there's a test. I can take a test where if I'm a sociopath and I use people for my own gain of function.
I wouldn't want to take that test.
Gain of function research, Mr. Fauci.
You know, I think we're all obviously like who we are, and we present ourselves to the world and to our coworkers and friends, but you know, shit behind closed doors is always different. Like I can personally attest to, I'm a fucking bitch. I don't know anyone else that could probably handle me other than my baby daddy, because I'm a fucking asshole. And like, you know, I sometimes I get in my moods where I you know, probably am a sociopath, because I just have no emotions. It's not even that I'm in a bad mood. I'm like at zero. Like I'm not happy. I'm not sad. I'm not mad. But I'm just like, I just have no emotions. Like
other than anger. I think I'm speaking for myself.
No, it's not even that I feel mad. I don't know if I'm like tired or something, but I just don't
You just feel like in the middle, like
yeah, I'm just like this. You know
like
how when your heart rate is like this, and then when you die you're like this.
Yeah.
That's
Straight
kind
line.
of how I
Flat
am.
line.
I'm flatlining sometimes, and when I'm flatline, I'm like, you can either make me happy or you can make me pissed off. Like I'm like in the middle. I'm like, but I don't feel anything. I'm just.
But do you feel like do you feel like maybe your partner shies away from you when you're like that, because like they don't know if you're gonna be like, if he's gonna be happy or
shy.
not, or not shy away, not just shy away, but like
I think he pisses me off even more. I think he like tries to get a reaction out of me, and I'm just like, dude, like,
leave me the fuck alone.
yeah, I'm just like, I don't want to be talked to. I don't want to be kissed on. I don't.
Or when they walk away and they say something, you're just like,
say it with your fucking chest.
say it with your chest.
Say it with your chest.
And I didn't say anything.
What?
¿Qué
Yeah.
dijiste? Nada, te quiero.
So I mean, you know, there's ups and downs to every relationship, and you know, we have two faces, and that's just how it is. You know, like your partner's supposed to know every side of you, and
if they don't run, then
and sometimes that
good.
side is ugly.
But yeah, so I mean, so definitely, you know, like with the new school year, kind of excited of like going back to school with the kids, and so I mean, yeah, just trying out new things this year, man. Let's reach for new
heights,
activities and heights.
Caleb is a 2-time champ. He won.
Again?
Yeah, he won 2 tournaments this month.
Damn, Caleb.
And he's going to state cup.
Jeez.
Well, we don't know, like, obviously, like, he's going to go to state cup to hopefully makes it to nationals.
Wait, he is going to.
Yeah, he qualified for state cup, but we
Vegas.
don't know about Vegas yet. He has to win the tournaments, and then Vegas would be on Thanksgiving.
Oh, Caleb, you better win, honey.
You better
We're going to
win.
Thanksgiving.
I'm just kidding, baby.
Yeah, he scored 3 goals this weekend. Unfortunately, they lost the second day. They lost the first game, so they didn't qualify to go to the finals, but that was like for a different tournament that doesn't, I guess, I don't know how that shit works.
Okay.
Entirely, but yeah. So he got his ears pierced too.
Oh, I
was
saw
cool.
that. You're such a cool mom. My mom, ¿Quieres niña? I'm like, sí. Fuck.
Yeah.
She's still
Y ni
never
porque
not.
digas que sí te voy a dejar, güey. No
she
mames.
never-
My
I
mom
remember
was
that
like-
was like my pet thing.
Dude, and it
Like,
was
I wanted
so
my
funny
ears pierced.
because we went to get his because I was gonna get my belly button pierced and he was at the house. I was like, Caleb, like I'm gonna go get a piercing, and he was like, can I get my ears pierced? And I was
What?
like,
I
yeah,
can't
of
remember.
course
She
you
said,
can.
yeah, right away.
I was like, let's go. So he gets his ears pierced,
Jeez.
and while we're there, like one of the little boys that he plays soccer with, his dad and the mom and the sister were there, and they're like, oh yeah, like I know this kid. I was like, you know them, Caleb? I'm like, oh my god, you're so popular. And he was like, yeah, that's Mikey's dad or whatever. And then the guy was like, oh, did you got a piercing to Caleb? And he was like, yeah, I got my ears pierced. He was like, oh, I want to get my ears pierced, but my mom, my mom and my dad, like they're old school, you know. I was like,
The little kid said that. That's so cute.
no, the dad.
Oh, the dad
The
said
dad
that he
wanted to get
his
his ears pierced, but he wouldn't because his parents would make fun of him. I was like, you just gotta do it. Like, it's new time.
He's like, nah, my
Like,
chinga
gonna
rey.
yeah, he was like,
rebel.
nah.
I may be old, but my mom's
Yeah.
kicking my ass. Fuck that.
Well, I barely even like now I got him pierced. I barely even fucking wear earrings. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, porque ya pasó la moda.
Yeah.
I'm like, ya
Bring
pa'
it
qué,
back.
ya pa'
Bring it
qué.
back.
Yeah, and then he had to
gonna
take
rock the
them
little cross.
off on his tournament on Saturday. They made him take them off, so I had to like put them back on like in
Why?
between games.
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
So
to
the
open it
first
back
day
up.
it didn't hurt. The next day, Sunday, I took them off in the morning, and when he got back, one of them had already
Yes,
closed, and it was a fucking
cry?
show. And then I was like, I'm sorry, Caleb, I'm not gonna put it back on. Like, if you're gonna be crying, like I'm freaking burning you.
No,
like,
ya me acuerdo with the B. Remember with the B?
yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Nah,
So,
that shit does hurt, though.
No, pero
Yeah.
imagínate el piquete aquí. That shit
Nah,
hurts.
that does
shit
hurt.
hurts,
Even
yeah.
if you leave, like,
Because
Yeah,
the
it was
machine is
like, yeah.
the machine is fast. It just goes.
No, well, his was a needle.
Oh,
They
the
did a
girl
needle.
is the guy or
The
girl?
guy. He
Damn,
did a needle.
with the needle, like a
Yeah.
savage.
A hollow
Damn.
needle. And I was like, okay, and he was crying. He's like, no, mom, put it back on. Like, I'm
He's
like,
like, I
no,
wanna
I'm
be
like,
cool.
if you can't handle having earrings and you're gonna be crying like this, like, I'm sorry, like, you can't have earrings. Like, I'm just not gonna put it back on. He's like, no, okay, I'm ready. And so I estoy. And then I'm like, all right, I just have to like pop it in, and I'm like,
You
I
hear
get
it pop?
so
Yes,
weird.
you
I'm
can
like, oh my
pop.
god, I don't want to do this. So I just popped it in, and he was like, oh, that felt good.
he wanted to cry.
Is that
No,
sad?
he was like
No?
over it at this point.
He's
But yeah,
savage.
he had been
He
crying.
probably thought about it. All right, do I suck it up?
yeah, I was just like,
Because-
breathe in and then breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. And then he was like, okay, that didn't hurt. I'm like, you don't take these earrings off anymore. You keep them on. If anything, we'll put Band-Aids over them. Like, you're
Why
not
they,
taking
at
them
the
off.
soccer game they didn't let
Yeah,
him have
why?
him?
No, at the tournament. Just in case he se los jalan or something.
Oh, okay, maybe.
Yeah. No.
So many rules now.
Yeah.
They're not hoops.
Right.
Yeah, they're not. Trying
Well,
to-
yeah, no, my mom, fuck no. Would have never. I always wanted to have the second one because I have.
What was the
when I
biggest
born,
thing your parents didn't let you do? Like
a
the
tattoo,
biggest.
but I waited until I was like literally 18.
Dude,
Or
I was
18.
16 when
and
I got
went-
my first tattoo.
That much. Well, actually, being.
¿Y la
I can't believe
chinga que
I'm
te
gonna-
dieron? No.
I can't believe I'm gonna say this, but like I actually did get my first tattoo when I was still in high school. I can't remember what year, but I remember. Yeah, I got a
What'd you
little
get?
V, a little V.
Oh, right here.
I mean,
Do you still have it?
yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I was remembering?
My mom would have
You know what I
killed
was
me.
remembering back like a couple weeks ago? I was remembering the Mickeys, the little Mickeys, the
Oh,
B,
yeah,
the
yeah.
B.
The
I
little
was never
ones?
really into that drink.
Malt
Yeah,
liquor.
yeah.
It was alright.
But
I was
remember
more
a lot
into
of
the
people got
Mad
it
Dogs.
tattooed. But I remember a lot of people
yeah.
got it tattooed. Though. I
Oh,
remember
yeah, the
that
B
shit.
right
Yeah,
here. I know a
yes,
couple
yes,
people that
yes,
got it.
yes.
Same.
So I was like, damn, whatever happened to that beer? We should have invested stocks in that shit. Instead of getting it
Estaba
tattooed.
rica. I don't even think that beer was
Girl,
good.
we fucking drank Bud Ice and a fucking Mickey's forever. And it was like, I was like, why was I taste that shit now and I'm like, why the fuck was I ever drinking this? How do I not have cancer right now? Like,
That I know.
and you just say like, oh, what is it? If you drink Four Locos, you're immune to like the coronavirus.
Damn,
Bro,
I didn't
that
have Four
shit-
Locos.
Bro,
That's
that
like-
shit kill you. Like, fuck. I remember the homie used to fucking do
Dude,
a Four
my
Locos.
mom got so
Locos.
fucked up off of Four Locos once. She drank 2 of them. She passed out
fuck
at the
yeah.
She
neighbor's
had
house.
8 Locos.
She was.
She has 8 Locos.
I went I went over and I was like, "Is my mom here?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, she's sleeping on the bed,
She's all
Sleeping on the
passed
bed.
out.
on my neighbor's bed."
Yeah.
The
Ni en el
homie used to
couch,
prepare him
güey.
with Coronas. The homie used to fucking like
I
drink like half a
know.
Corona and then throw some
No.
fucking Four Locos in there. Oh, you get fucked
Fuck
up.
no.
Who said crazy Corona?
I was more into Mad Dogs.
Corona
but no.
loca.
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Fuck that.
But man, okay, so my little run-in with the police officer this past week was pretty fun too. So I was on my 30-minute lunch. I ran down to Poway Road, I think it's Poway Road. I think it is. So I ran down to get some real tacos, and you know, this is the thing about me too. The thing about me is that sometimes I think about things that I should do, and then like, you know, like en español le llaman la desidia. La desidia is like that last minute thing, like, oh fuck, I changed my mind, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean? So like, it's like, you know, I've always had that thing, like, si me sale, like, if it comes out of me, I'm gonna fucking do it right then and just fuck it. So I'm getting out of the drive-thru. I got my rolled tacos and shit. Fucking, I get into traffic. The left-hand side is blocked because they're doing some construction into the street where I go in. Where there's a street that you can go in, and then there's a street also where you can bust a U-turn. So there's like cones and shit, so you can't merge into that side. But the road is blocked, but I'm like, fuck, I'm just going to bust a U-turn. Like, I'm not going to fucking... I was like, it's a U-turn. I'm not going into the fucking street. I know it's blocked off, but I can fucking bust this bitch right here. Because I was like,
With
man,
the
like...
conos?
Well, the cones were right there. Like,
you went around
They
it,
were
like...
they were blocked off, and then like it was like stopped. So like they were just it was just so you wouldn't go into that intersection, and then it was open. There was a gap open, and I was able to like kind of turn into the bitch. And I was like, oh fuck! I kind of looked around, I looked forward, and I was like, fuck it, this is now or never, you know? Porque as soon as you turn out, you know, and it's right there, like I can bust a bitch and then head back down to where I'm going to work. Or it was like, wait until like the next two lights where I can bust a U-turn. And I was like, there's traffic. There's all this fucking construction. I'm trying to go eat my tacos. So I busted a bitch. And as soon as I bust a bitch, there's like 300 meters down the road, there's like the traffic of cars coming from the next light, right? A couple of cars behind, I see fucking white on the top. You know, like, fuck, I think that's a cop. And then a veces se mira como que es policía y a veces como que no, because there's those little square cars too that have like white on top.
Cars.
Yeah, they have like white on top.
Cars.
And he was like three behind. So I was like, fuck, hopefully he didn't see me. Yeah, and I'm going like a pendejo, you know, just fucking going down the street, you know, like to the light. And, you know, and I'm looking at my rearview mirror. I'm like, fuck, this guy, hopefully he didn't see me. Yeah, and that's I'm fucking watching my phone too. I'm like on my phone, like right there, like because I start my show, like I start Archer and shit or cartoons and shit. So while I'm eating my lunch,
driving,
no, I was like, because like all these commercials come on and shit through Hulu and shit. So I just kind of like started up. So by the time where I park, you know, all the commercials have gone and my show has started. You know.
Oh no! So yes, the answer was yes as you're driving.
So as I'm driving, and then I'm like, oh fuck it, so I put it down, and you see, there's a city guy behind me. And I see the cop like merge into the left lane, and then like speeds up a little bit and like tries to get into like the fucking to where the guy was at. And then I slowed down. I slowed down so like to close the gap. But el otro way slowed down even more, and he fucking let the cop right in front and behind me. And I was like, You see, as soon as he gets into my lane, he fucking whoop, whoop, and he puts the lights, and I'm like, oh fuck. I was like, shit. All right, cool. So I fucking merge into the parking lot, to the parking center right there.
Where you work?
No, this is like, I'm still like
so you're
about
still
like,
on the fucking road.
Yeah, I'm still on the road.
Damn.
Like this is like just barely coming out. Like I haven't even hit the intersection to turn right into my right, you know, to go up the road. Damn. I should have gone straight. So I pull in. You know, this guy, it's a sheriff, right? So I pull in and I'm like, fuck, my license is not that good right now. Because I had gotten my glasses, so my prescription and shit, and I was like, fuck, I don't know how I'm going to play this.
You got the glasses just to go get your...
So think about this one, too. Like, one of the things that I learned from, you know, like maybe police and stuff like that, like, I always go and I park. Like, if I can find a parking spot, like, I'm going to fucking park in a parking spot.
That's
you know what I mean? Because if you're not going to, like, if you're kind of doing something bad, you might get the chance of them not taking your car, leaving it parked right there, and making your fucking ass walk home or whatever. Okay, so I fucking go in, I head straight into the parking lot, you know, the parking structure. I see this guy get out. This kind of heavier set, kind of looking Mexican guy, and he's dark skinned. And I'm like, oh, cool. I kind of made it. So he walks up. He's like, hey, do you know why I pulled you over? Can you put your hands on the steering wheel? Because I kind of had him down here. He's like, that's kind of weird. And I was like, oh, yeah, no worries. I was like, don't worry. So I put my hands on the steering wheel, right? The fucking cop's like, he's walking out and he's talking to me and he's like, hey, do you know why I pulled you over? And I was like, to be honest, probably most likely, yeah, because of that U-turn. He's like, yeah, did you see the cones? And I was like, I was just coming out of the drive-thru and I was like in a hurry to eat my tacos to go back to lunch. And I didn't see them until I started turning, until I turned left.
I forgot my glasses.
Until I busted the U-turn.
I'm a dumbass.
So until I busted the U-turn. Yeah, so
I don't have my glasses.
So practically I was like, I busted a U-turn right there and he's like, yeah, you see the cones and stuff, that's illegal and stuff. And I was like, yeah. He's like, are you on your lunch? And I was like, yeah, I'm on my lunch. He's like, where do you work? I was like, I work up the street, I do this and that. He's like, okay, do you have your ID and your registration and your insurance? So I was like, all right, cool, fuck. So he asked for my ID. That's probably going to mandate more of that shit.
So much
more.
So
it's going to be coming into that.
I don't even know how we're going to travel in October.
I don't know. So I was thinking about getting mine to be the guinea pig. Yeah.
No, you're not.
Because I told Candy and she was like, oh, I don't know. Because Candy's like wants to okay, then I'll just take a test before.
Yep.
But I mean,
well, yeah,
because
she's
breastfeeding.
Hers breastfeeding and shit.
I think their best shot is just the fucking test.
The test,
yeah. Until they literally mandate it, where it's like you can't.
Another thing is just, I mean, like I've told them, I was like, yeah, I am kind of like the breadwinner of the house, and I'm out there with more different types of people every weekend.
Bro, I hang out with everybody that is going through chemo in and out of the hospital, and here I am, perfectly fine.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, it just depends. Like I said, yeah, but I mean, for me, it's just like I get more gatherings. You know what I mean? It's weddings, parties,
yeah.
And people are coming from out of town that I don't know, and I'm hanging around the same place as them.
They're traveling.
So I mean, like I did a wedding about a month ago, and I didn't even know like where these people were coming from. So comes to find out the day of the wedding, when I'm talking and mingling with these people, they're like, oh yeah, we're coming from Florida, from fucking Texas, from like in Indianapolis or wherever the fuck they're coming from, but they're coming from like the other side of the fucking continent. Like I'm just like shit, you know what I mean? Like if I would have known, I might have been wearing and then this was like even 2 months ago, like a month ago prior, when things were a little bit more higher and more so I mean, I like to consider myself to be a healthy person per se, but I know that the toll that I've taken on my body, like in these years of DJing, like constant smoking cigarettes, constant smoking weed, lack of sleep, like not a very good diet, like until right now is when I'm really like I feel like really good right now, because I haven't been drinking for like the past 2 weeks.
Wow, good job.
So that's because I'm taking that medication, and it says don't drink with alcohol, don't mix with alcohol.
Oh yeah, and you do not want to mix shit with.
Yeah, so
if it says
trying,
don't mix it, trust me.
I'm trying not. Well, I'm trying not to, because it's fucking like 3-4 different pills that I'm taking. So I'm just like
for what?
For H. pylori. It's like a
bacteria.
Yeah, like a bacteria in your gut. Yeah, this fucking medication gives you chorro, bro. Like my butthole's been burning for the past 2 weeks. Like I'm not even kidding. Like
you're on it for a month, huh?
It's about like a 14 days. 14
Damn.
days. So like I think this is like the last weekend, like the last week I think. So but until like I finish all the pills and shit. But still, like, I mean, like, I feel way better. Like, my stomach, like, there's just some pain that I was feeling for a long time, and then I haven't felt it in the past 2 weeks.
Oh, thank God.
So it's like whether it's, whether it's that helping with the bacteria, or just my drinking habit is like way out of control. Like we talked about it, like it's, there does come a time in your body when like your liver stops working. So like for me, in this past year, quarantine hit us hard. We were fucking drinking hardcore. And then these past couple, maybe at the beginning of this year, there's been a couple times when I've drank too much beer and my face starts getting red and puffy. And I've noticed that with this other person that I hang around with this guy that he like talks to my dad, and he drinks a lot. So he drinks a fucking lot. And I see his eyes get yellow, red and fucking yellow. So like they say that like there's different signs that mean that your fucking liver is about to fail. So like there's like signs that like, you know, if you get an allergic reaction from beer,
when you get like that,
they call it a fuck, I forgot what it's called.
It's on your pupil though.
Yeah,
it's
it's on the white.
It's
you're white.
psoriasis, right?
Yeah,
Not psoriasis.
it's
but it's like a sign of psoriasis.
Shut up.
Yeah,
because when I drink beer, my
cirrhosis. Cirrhosis is like it's like a liver cancer. It's like it eats your liver and shit. So like before you start, like, you know, obviously there's signs and shit, like your body gets puffy. Like I don't feel puffy at all.
Do you get bloated when you drink beer?
Yeah, like I get super bloated. So like my stomach like pops the fuck out. So I'm just like, you know, and it's just like little signs like that. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm not saying I'm gonna go quick cold turkey and not do anything, because I do miss it. You know what I mean? It is part of my life, my atmosphere. You know, this past weekend I was at Coyotes. I didn't drink the whole night, but I do feel like I gave a way better show than when, you know what I mean? Like I was like, you know, like I'm thinking about like, you know, my show's more of an experience now. Like for me, it's like I want to be like kind of like a comedian, how he takes the stage and kind of just like takes everybody throughout the room and tells a story. Like that's the same shit that I want to do in my DJing. So like when I go into Coyotes, like that's how I view my night. Like I view like these fools are going through the fucking trip, and they're gonna be like, whether it's like pumped up or like sad or like, you know, grinding music or whatever it is that, you know, that I'm playing. Like I want them to feel like an adventure. And this past weekend, I had three guys come up to me. They're like, damn, bro, they're like one of the best DJs that I've heard. They're like, dude, you're fucking sick as fuck. I was like, and not to toot my horn, but I was like, damn, that's fucking sick. Thank you. He was like, bro, I've never had so many fucking bitches grind on me. He's like, dude, I was just walking by and these bitches would just start grinding. I was like, dude, I was like, and they're crediting that to me. I'm like, hell yeah, bro, I got you, man. I got you. And the other fool's like, you know, he's like, dude, I don't listen to this shit at my house. I would never listen to this shit at my house. But, you know, you had the fucking room cracking and you had them going, you know. He's like, I'll fucking listen to that to this any day. So, I mean, it's kind of like, that's kind of what I want to base off my structure of my show from here on out.
You should get one of those scanners, like those scan thingies, and be like, oh, just scan my code and you can look at all my playlists.
All the playlists and stuff. Too. So it's kind of like I've been directing them to my website and stuff, because on my website I have them on the...
And get more traffic that way.
Yeah, on the traffic. And then and they can see my mixes on there too. So, and that's kind of what I want to work on and stuff like that, because... I mean, you can only drink so much and you can only do so much at the end of the day, you know, like, and I don't want to feel like shit, you know, like another thing that I like is like just waking up and being okay the next day. You know what I mean? Like waking up and being like, oh, hell yeah, like I'm ready to get my day started, whether it's a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning, you know what I mean? It's a good, you know, veer off of, you know, of the norm and stuff like that. Yeah. And your body appreciates it too. So this is your sign to stop drinking for a little bit. I mean,
and that's funny because ever since that incident,
you haven't?
I have not. I have not. We've gone out to eat to dinner, you know, good dinners and stuff, and I don't. And they even like the people around me like trip out. Even like today that we went out to eat.
So like, no more margaritas? No,
you know, I'm not. Wow, I'm not. And baby. I'm just not. Like, it did something to my soul that even when I talked to
It's hard to trust people.
Yeah, and not just that. Like, I couldn't even like digest it like on Sunday. So I think I talked to you on Monday, and like I told her like everything was going on, and I was like, I think this is a sign from God, and she's like, yeah, it's a sign from God.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm done. And like I literally learned that way when shit hits the fan. Like that's when I'm like, oh shit, you know, gotta get my shit together. And
because how many bottles of margaritas do you think you finished?
Girl, why would you ask me that? Why would she ask me
that? Why are you trying to embarrass me like that?
but like, think about it. Yeah.
Shitload.
No,
she was on a...
I was on a... You guys were on a roll.
Yeah.
Even Candy, I was like, oh, yeah.
And then she gifted me like that. That one I haven't even opened. So actually, to be honest with you guys, just to like throw it out there, I did empty out all my bottles, my margarita mix and all that. Yeah, it's a trip. Girl. Except the ones that she gave me. Yeah. I'm gonna re-gift them to someone or something, because it's like, why, you know, do something like a cute basket like she did.
I like your style. You know what I mean? Like, it's not
style.
Bad. You know what I mean? Because like the little bit of time that I've gotten to know you, you know, through this podcast and stuff like that, like, you know, there's changes in our life. I think that's kind of like what brings us together to the show, is because of the in fluctuation of things that we do, you know, because when we started, you were like we were on the hiking tip, you know, we were like going hard at it, you know. Little was single, she was out there, you know, doing her thing and stuff, and now she's coming back, and you know, she's like more reserved and like hanging out, but like but life is still happening, you know what I mean? And there's these little experiences that we learn from, whether it's when we're single, when we're together, when we're with family or friends and stuff like that. And I think for you, like it's such a good vibe that you bring. And I think it's just experiences that happen to you for you to better yourself too. You know what I mean? Because like your hiking was doing really good. Then you kind of went to go the shrooming way, and then like, you know, taking little doses here and there, open up your mind, you know, and then alcohol kind of came in, and alcohol came in, and it kind of took you by storm. I kind of did see that alcohol, you know, once you started with the
I would
the
have
margaritas.
people send me like margarita mixes, and like now that I digesting.
She wanted to be a bartender.
And then I wanted to be a fucking bartender.
You remember the Instagram I showed you? You were going to be like that party bartender. You're like, I can get fucked up with everybody.
And it's like, because I was going through like, I don't know. I've always been into liquor. I used to consider myself an alcoholic when I was 18. I've always said that I was an alcoholic.
You know, I'm like, what about you, man? A lot of calls and shit. He's like, yeah, you know, like COVID kind of like, you know, sprung him up. But it's just, he's like, it's a lot of like just little small calls that I have to do. And, you know, just kind of just mediating, you know, like between people's problems and shit. And, you know, I try not to do, like, he was pretty cool. Like, he was Mexican. So, I mean, like, you know, like, he was trying to hook a brother up. And I was like, damn. I was like, he's like, it's been hot. You know, I'm like, yeah, hell yeah. I was like, bro, with that shit that you're wearing, bro, it looks like you motherfucking hot. Like, you are hot. Like, he was like,
you're a hot cop.
You're a hot cop. I was like, bro, he was like, yeah, all this stuff. And yeah, it gets pretty sweaty and shit. And I was like,
he's
yeah,
like,
you're a big boy.
I
was like, you're a big boy.
Let me feel.
So the cop, you know, the cop gets called back from the dispatcher and shit, and you know the dispatcher tells him that my license is expired. So my license is not suspended, but it's expired. He's like, George, he's like, I can do two things. He's like, I can take your car, or I can let you go with a warning. Go fix this. And I was like, yeah, I'm guessing why it's expired is because of my glasses. Like I had to go get glasses. And he's like, oh, do you have the receipt, or do you have anything that can show me proof that you're taking care of it? So, like, I go to my glove compartment. Luckily, I had the fucking receipt from the DMV from the last time that I went in, and where they prescribed me to go get glasses. So he's like, oh, okay, I can see you're started on it already. Okay, you're taking care of it right now. I was like, yeah, my glasses are actually right here. I just wasn't wearing it. I was like,
oh my God.
I was like, they're right here in my butt and like my thing. And he was like, yeah, okay. So he's like, okay, George. He's like, do you mind if I search your car? And I was like, I mean, like, you're going to let me go already. I might as well just let you search my car. I was like, I don't really, I mean, this is another thing too, that for me, it's like, I know I don't have anything to hide. So I'm going to fucking tell the cop, like, you can fucking search the car. You know what I mean? I know it comes against your rights, or you have rights against that and stuff like that. But for me, it's like, I don't have anything to hide. Like, I don't really give a fuck. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like, if I have something, whatever I have, I already fucking told you. And you know what I mean? And if you want to make a big deal out of it, then you can make a big deal out of it. I know from the times that I've been pulled over, when cops find weed on me, like, they really never ever say anything, you know, because I'm not fucking transporting fucking kilos. You know, it's just like a fucking piece and a little bit of weed. So for me, it's like, I don't have anything to hide. I'm not tripping about it. So I'm like, yeah, sure. Yeah. He's like, are you sure I'm not going to find anything else? I'm like, I don't think so. I was like, my car's pretty dirty.
Like, what day is it?
I was like, my car's pretty fucking dirty. I was like, yeah. I was like, no, you're good. So he's like, all right, George. So if everything checks out, George, he's like, you know, if I just find, he's like, where's your pipe and your weed? And I was like, oh, it's right here. And he's like, you know, if everything checks out, you know, I'll just let you go with the warning and, you know, fix your license and that's it. So he's like, so can you step out of your vehicle? And I was like, all right, cool. So I get out of my vehicle and he's like, can I search you? And I was like, oh, I got my pocket knife right here though too, right? So I was like, I got a pocket knife for work, you know, it's, you know, these open boxes and shit. He's like, all right, cool. Can you stand over here on this side? So I fucking go ahead and I stand to the side.
Oh my God.
The police officer, he's like, I got to put you in the back of my car though. And I was like, whoa. I was like, you didn't say that. You said you could search my car. And he's like, I'm not going to handcuff you, but if you can understand, I can't be facing my back to you and then also searching your car at the same time. So I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. He's like, yeah, you can. So he's like, can you please go and sit down in the back of my car? So he goes, he opens the door and shit. And then I'm just like fucking sitting in the back of the police car.
Should have taken the tacos.
I know. Should have taken the tacos. I had tacos. I forgot about the fucking tacos. To be honest, I forgot.
Dude, those tacos cost you a lot.
Yeah, those tacos caught me. I was like, I was freaking pissed. So I'm watching this guy in the back of the fucking my car and shit. And he's fucking rummaging through everything. My car's fucking dirty as fuck as it is. And he pulls out a little fucking fireball, a little shot of fireball from my
Empty?
full from my glove compartment. And he puts it on top of the car. I'm like, oh, the fucking fireball. I was like, damn it. I was like,
but
shit.
it was closed.
Yeah, it was closed, fully closed
sealed.
and shit. And
oh my gosh.
So I go up, so he goes out, like, he does his search, checks my trunk, everything checks out. He comes up and he's like, hey, did you know you had this? And I was like, fuck, I totally forgot about the fireball. I was like, I got it at a wedding like a couple months back, and I just threw it in my glove compartment. I fucking forgot about it. I was like, they were giving him out as like a wedding fucking recuerdos and shit. He's like, oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna empty it out and then throw it back in your fucking car, and then you can get going and shit. And
you could keep the bottle.
Yeah, he's like, you can keep the bottle. And so he fucking opens it. He's like, before you leave, I gotta take a picture of you and your car, make sure that everything checks out. And I was like, I guess. I was like, I'm not a gang member. So this was like fucking, so like I posed for a picture, I'm like this.
With his taco.
Next to my fucking car. And then he's like, show me your hands. I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm not a gang member. He's like, oh. So he takes a picture of my tattoos, and he took a picture of my car too. So he took a picture. He's like, just to make sure that everything is going good. And I was like, that everything checked out fine. I was like, cool, just tag me, bro. And
he said, tag me.
That was it. And I was like,
if you ever need a DJ, let me know. I'll hook you up, bro.
DJ, imagine like I'm in like fucking like what I was thinking. I was like, man, this guy just took pictures of me. Like, what if this would post him on fucking Facebook? Like, el pendejo del día. Like, this one was caught fucking. He busted a bitch, had weed in the car, had just recently smoked, driving with an expired license.
No glasses.
No glasses. But what if it's on like on a police forum? I was like, like if it's a police forum where they do like the idiot of the week or of the day and shit. I was like, oh my, I could already imagine it be like this, like with my tattoos. With
the empty fireball.
With the empty fireball in my head. I was just like, oh my God. But kudos to that guy. He was pretty chill. I don't even fucking know his name.
He sounds like an asshole.
He was pretty chill. I mean, what else can you do? Though. And it is because at the end of the day, like your interaction with the cop tells them a lot. You know what I mean? If you start getting nervous, if you start like doing shit, I mean, I guess you know what I mean.
Cops make you nervous. Period.
As it is. You're fucking nervous as it is. You know what I mean? But
I know you're perfectly fine. You haven't done shit, but you're nervous.
But you're nervous. Fuck yeah. They make you doubt yourself.
Even
like
me,
you fucking
like when I was on the phone with this sergeant, he was like, "Why? Is there a reason why like they should be looking for you?" I'm like, "No, I fucking call in shit all the time. I help you guys arrest
That's
criminals."
Some double shit right there. Some double standard shit. Like you gotta fucking do that. I was like,
honestly, but when I was like, I was fine until I saw the video and the police officers were saying my name and they were looking at my trash. Then I thought, okay, something's going on. This is
feeling so comfortable.
I was like, this shit is not normal. Like people, like I needed to find out what was happening. Like who am I associated with that brought the police to my house? I'm not even associated to this girl.
And her name sounded very similar to mine. My name is Vivian, by the way.
That's crazy.
Similar. Yeah. And I was just like, fuck.
So I mean, like at the end of the day, like I think we just. I don't like to give cops a hassle, you know what I mean? And especially if I know that I'm in the wrong, like I committed something wrong, like, like I've gotten stopped for DUIs before in the past. Not resist, like I get what's coming for me. Like at the end of the day, like if it's one thing that I grew up with was, through all the hardships and everything that I've been through and like, like the times that I've been in trouble, it's like one of the things that helped me out was to take responsibility for my own actions. And that's one thing that, like I do stand by. And it's like, if I'm fucking caught, I'm caught. I get a ticket. You got to take me to jail. You got to take me to jail. But it's like, it's a decision that I've made. I've decided to get behind the wheel. I decided to, you know what I mean? Like me at the last minute, I decided to bust that bitch. You know what I mean? Like I could have been home free. You know what I mean? Like a long time ago, I would have been eating my tacos already. But I took my chances though. I took I gambled, because it's like, for me, it's like, I know that there's a lot of cops that hang around that area. I know that the police station is just down this,
It's so true.
You know what I mean?
Todavía.
Y todavía lo hace uno. So it's just like, at the end of the day, it's un pendejismo. It's like, whatever it is that, that you got going on in your day or whatever, or you just fucking, you're just stoned.
You just don't give a fuck.
Or you're just stoned and you're just like, oh shit, you just fucking busted a bitch. So, I mean, let that be experience. Yeah, don't hassle cops, try to be like, I mean, if they're doing something wrong, yeah, I understandable. But at the end of the day, like, I mean, we kind of see how that kind of happen. That kind of goes with people, anywhere that if you really watch the media, if you're gonna go against the cops, they're gonna fucking fuck you up. So I mean, it's kind of like
they're a gang.
It's your word against them, and even if they have body cameras now, it's not really. It's not gonna pin out to you.
It's not gonna stop them from killing you.
Yeah. But if you do get a ticket, go fight it, because if the cop doesn't show up, then they dismiss it.
They dismiss it. You can also get Mr. Ticket. Yeah. But yeah, good thing I came out of that. Yeah. I mean, I came out of that.
Mr. Ticket doesn't help with parking tickets, though.
Huh?
They don't help with parking tickets.
Oh, no, with parking tickets. No. Mr. Ticket.
No, it's more. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's like speeding and other stuff.
Yeah. Oh. Like they'll represent you in court and shit. Like they'll go for you and shit. Okay. Cool. But I mean, like, at the end of the day, it's just like, I mean, just everybody's gotta we gotta be more conscious of the shit that we do, or that I do too. So
yeah,
so that was my story.
And it really even wasn't the U-turn that you made. It was from the get-go that you decided to. You knew you had to get your glasses and didn't follow up with the DMV. It really was.
And I already had my and that's what I told you. And remember, I told you I was like, it's like the Celia, and I was like, I got my glasses already like a week ago or two, and I just been lazy and I haven't gone to the DMV. And that day, I left work at like 4:30 or like 4:20, and I got to the DMV within like less than 10 minutes. I was out.
Oh my god!
The guy was like, cover your ear, cover your eye, cover this eye, cover that.
Your ear.
Cover your ear. También si estás sordo. Cover your eye, cover this. And then I was just like, and I was out, and I'm like, fuck. See? So it's just like the shit that I gotta put myself through sometimes. No entiendes, güey.
Hey, that's how I feel like. That's how I learn. Yo aprendo las malas. Like, bad shit has to happen for me to like wake up and learn. Other than
well, I mean, and then that's one of the things my dad was always like, hey, don't. He's like, I tell you shit so you can experience it through other people's heads, but if you want to experience it through your head, that shit's gonna hurt. You know what I mean? If I'm telling you because I've seen it, I've dealt with it, I've been through it. But if you want to experience it through your own head, then that shit's gonna hurt. And trust me, he's
and
like,
parents always know best.
It's an instinct that you grow up. I mean, you're watching your kid since he's a fucking, you're watching your kid since he's born. Like every single second of the day, every action, every reaction that they're gonna make. If you tell them this, if you tell them that, you practically can already guess like the next move of this little human that you're with. You know what I mean? So it's just like, si ya te conocen, ya te saben cómo eres. Like,
well, sometimes not always, because like with my kid, he throws like some weird ass shit randomly. Like all of a sudden he's a fucking Chivas fan. We're fucking Americanistas. Hardcore Americanistas. Hardcore Raider fans, and he's a Charger. He's like switched from like, he's that kid. Like,
tell him he can have my poster, my Charger poster.
Bro, he will take that in a Charger. He's been asking us for a Charger shirt.
Take him that poster. Take him that poster. If you
have a couple at the house.
If you have a place to hang it on his wall, he will love that poster.
I was like, no. You are tripping. And he's like, come on, Mom. Like for school, we went school shopping. You know what? I think that the people that influence him to be a fucking Chargers fan and a fucking Chivista should be the one purchasing those things. Yeah. Not me. The fuck?
Well, like I said, you could take that. I mean, I'm not a big Charger fan anymore because I still carry the bolt. Because I don't have a home? Because I still have a bolt on my fucking chain. But...
and they suck
because they went to fucking LA, man, and then Raiders over here, Las Vegas. I mean, I'm not tripping about the Las Vegas.
We were gonna get tickets for Vegas.
That shit's sick. That stadium is nice.
We couldn't get them. You know why? Because we have to have forget vaccine. That shit. Yep, we have to have our vaccine passport. Yeah. A vaccine card, whatever.
What's cracking about that?
Yeah. I legit just sent it to my cousin.
Pfizer got approved today.
Yeah, I was pretty... I saw that coming.
So now, I think they're even going to mandate more of that shit.
So much
more. So it's going to be coming into that.
I don't even know how we're going to travel in October.
I don't know. So I was thinking about getting mine to be the guinea pig. Yeah.
No, you're not.
Because I told Candy and she was like, oh, I don't know. Because Candy's like wants to like, okay, then I'll just take a test before.
Yep.
But I mean,
well, yeah,
because
because
she's
breastfeeding.
Hers breastfeeding and shit.
I think their best shot is just the fucking test.
The test,
yeah. Until they literally mandate it, where it's like you can't.
Another thing is just, I mean, like I've told them, I was like, yeah, I am kind of like the breadwinner of the house, and I'm out there with more different types of people every weekend.
Bro, I hang out with everybody that is going through chemo in and out of the hospital, and here I am, perfectly fine.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean, it just depends. Like I said, yeah, but I mean, for me, it's just like I get more gatherings. You know what I mean? It's weddings, parties,
yeah.
And people are coming from out of town that I don't know, and I'm hanging around the same place as them.
They're traveling.
So I mean, like I did a wedding about a month ago, and I didn't even know like where these people were coming from. So comes to find out the day of the wedding, when I'm talking and mingling with these people, they're like, oh yeah, we're coming from Florida, from fucking Texas, from like in Indianapolis or wherever the fuck they're coming from, but they're coming from like the other side of the fucking continent. Like I'm just like shit, you know what I mean? Like if I would have known, I might have been wearing and then this was like even 2 months ago, like a month ago prior, you know, when things were a little bit more higher and more you know. So I mean, I like to consider myself to be a healthy person per se, but you know, I know that the toll that I've taken on my body, you know, like in these years of DJing, like, you know, constant smoking cigarettes, constant smoking weed, lack of sleep, you know, like not a very good diet, like until right now is when I'm really like I feel like really good right now, because I haven't been drinking for like the past 2 weeks.
Wow, good job.
So that's because I'm taking that medication, and it says don't drink with alcohol, don't mix with alcohol.
Oh yeah, and you do not want to mix shit with.
Yeah, so
if it says
trying,
don't mix it, trust me.
I'm trying not. Well, I'm trying not to, because it's fucking like 3-4 different pills that I'm taking. So I'm just like
for what?
For H. pylori, it's like a
bacteria.
Yeah, like a bacteria in your gut. Yeah, this fucking medication gives you chorro, bro. Like my butthole's been burning for the past 2 weeks. Like I'm not even kidding. Like
you're on it for a month, huh?
It's about like a 14 days. 14
Damn.
days. So like I think this is like the last weekend, like the last week, I think. So, but until like I finish all the pills and shit. But still, like, I mean, like, I feel way better. Like, my stomach, like, there's just some pain that I was feeling for a long time, and then I haven't felt it in the past 2 weeks.
Oh, thank
God.
God.
It's like whether it's, you know, whether it's that helping with the bacteria, or just my drinking habit is like way out of control. Like we talked about it, you know, like it's, there does come a time in your body when like your liver stops working. So like for me, in this past year, you know, quarantine hit us hard. We were fucking drinking hardcore. And then these past couple, maybe at the beginning of this year, there's been a couple times when I've drank too much beer and my face starts getting red and puffy. And I've noticed that with this other person that I hang around with this guy that he like talks to my dad, and he drinks a lot. So he drinks a fucking lot. And I see his eyes get yellow, red and fucking yellow. So like they say that like there's different signs that mean that your fucking liver is about to fail. So like there's like signs that like, you know, if you get an allergic reaction from beer,
when you get like that,
they call it a fuck, I forgot.
It's like it's on your pupil. Though.
Yeah, it's on the white.
Psoriasis, right?
Yeah,
not psoriasis. But it's like a sign of psoriasis.
Shut up.
Yeah,
because when I drink beer, my
cirrhosis.
Oh,
cirrhosis.
I don't know what cirrhosis is.
Cirrhosis is like it's like a liver cancer. It's like eats your liver and shit. So like before you start, like, you know, obviously there's signs and shit, like your body gets puffy. Like I don't feel puffy at all.
Do you get bloated when you drink beer?
Yeah, like I get super bloated. So like my stomach like pops the fuck out. So I'm just like, you know, and it's just like little signs like that. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm not saying I'm gonna go quick cold turkey and not do anything, because I do miss it. You know what I mean? It is part of my life, my atmosphere. You know, this past weekend I was at Coyotes. I didn't drink the whole night, but I do feel like I gave a way better show than when, you know what I mean? Like I was like, you know, like I'm thinking about like, you know, my show's more of an experience now. Like for me, it's like I want to be like kind of like a comedian, how he takes the stage and kind of just like takes everybody throughout the room and tells a story. Like that's the same shit that I want to do in my DJing. So like when I go into Coyotes, like that's how I view my night. Like I view like these fools are going through the fucking trip, and they're gonna be like, whether it's like pumped up or like sad or like, you know, grinding music or whatever it is that, you know, that I'm playing. Like I want them to feel like an adventure. And this past weekend, I had 3 guys come up to me. They're like, damn, bro, they're like one of the best DJs that I've heard. they're like, dude, you're fucking sick as fuck. I was like, and not to toot my horn, but I was like, damn, that's fucking sick. Thank you. He was like, bro, I've never had so many fucking bitches grind on me. He's like, dude, I was just walking by and these bitches would just start grinding. I was like, dude, I was like, and they're crediting that to me. I'm like, hell yeah, bro, I got you, man, I got you. And the other fool's like, he's like, dude, I don't listen to this shit at my house. I would never listen to this shit at my house. But you had the fucking room cracking and you had him going. He's like, I'll fucking listen to that to this any day. So I mean, it's kind of like that's kind of what I want to base off my structure of my show from here on out.
You should get one of those scanners, like those scan thingies, and be like, oh, just scan my code and you can look at all my playlists.
All the playlists and stuff. Too. So it's kind of like I've been directing them to my website and stuff because on my website I have them on the
and get more traffic that way.
On the traffic, and then they can see my mixes on there too. So and that's kind of what I want to work on and stuff like that because. I mean, you can only drink so much and you can only do so much at the end of the day, like, and I don't want to feel like shit, like another thing that I like is like just waking up and being okay the next day. You know what I mean? Like waking up and being like, oh, hell yeah. Like I'm ready to get my day started, whether it's a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning. You know what I mean? It's a good, veer off of, of the norm and stuff like that. Yeah. And your body appreciates it too. So this is your sign to stop drinking for a little bit. I mean,
and that's funny because ever since that incident
you haven't?
I have not. I have not. We've gone out to eat to dinner, good dinners and stuff, and I don't. And they even like the people around me like trip out. Even like today that we went out to eat.
So no more margaritas? No.
I'm not. Wow, I'm not. And baby. I'm just not. Like it did something to my soul that even when I talked to
Little. It's hard to trust people.
Yeah, and not just that. Like I couldn't even like digest it like on Sunday. So I think I talked to you on Monday and like I told her like everything was going on and I was like, I think this is a sign from God, and she's like, yeah, it's a sign from God.
Oh
like,
yeah.
I'm done. And like I literally learned that way when shit hits the fan. Like that's when I'm like, oh shit, gotta get my shit together. And
because how many bottles of margaritas do you think you finished?
Girl, why would you ask me that? Why would she ask me
Why are you trying to embarrass me like that?
But think about it.
Shitload.
No,
she was on a...
We were on a... You guys were on a roll.
Yeah.
Even Candy, I was like, oh, yeah.
And then she gifted me like that. That one I haven't even opened. So actually, to be honest with you guys, just to like throw it out there, I did empty out all my bottles, my margarita mix and all that. Yeah, it's a trip. Girl. Except the ones that she gave me. Yeah. I'm gonna re-gift them to someone or something because it's like, why, do something like a cute basket.
And you know what, I like your style. You know what I mean? Like it's not style. Bad. You know what I mean? Because like the little bit of time that I've gotten to know you, through this podcast and stuff like that, like. There's changes in our life. I think that's kind of like what brings us together to the show is because of the fluctuation of things that we do, because when we started, you were like we were on the hiking tip, we were like going hard at it, Little was single. She was out there, doing her thing and stuff. And now she's coming back and, she's like more reserved and like hanging out. But like, but life is still happening. You know what I mean? And there's these little experiences that we learn from, whether it's when we're single, when we're together, when we're with family or friends and stuff like that. And I think for you, like it's such a good vibe that you bring. And I think it's just experiences that happen to you for you to better yourself too. You know what I mean? Because like your hiking was doing really good. Then you kind of went to go the shrooming way, and then like taking little doses here and there, open up your mind. And then alcohol kind of came in, and alcohol came in, and it kind of took you by storm. I kind of did see that alcohol. Once you started with the
I would
the
have
margaritas.
People send me like margarita mixes, and like now that I digesting.
She wanted to be a bartender.
And then I wanted to be a fucking bartender.
Remember the Instagram I showed you? You were going to be like that party bartender. You're like, I can get fucked up with everybody.
And it's like, because I was going through like, I don't know. I've always been into liquor. I used to consider myself an alcoholic when I was 18. I've always said that I was an alcoholic. And that's why I'm always careful on how much I drink. But anytime I like take that ride of alcohol, I don't get down, and I just don't get down. And I feel like this incident had to be like where I'm like, I don't ever want to fuck with that shit. Like, I mean, I'm not saying like I'll never have a drink, but like legit, no se me antoja. I don't want it. I did something to my soul.
I think it was like, and I think it's like that free thing that we do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like with that drug experience that I told you, like that last time that that when I took crystal, you know what I mean? Because you were just in that mood of like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna get fucked up tonight. This is my night. So you just indulge in it like that.
And for those that didn't watch it, he didn't know it was crystal.
I didn't know it was crystal. So I mean, but you're just like, fuck, I'm gonna indulge in this. It's my day. It's my night. Me lo merezco. You know what I mean? So you build these whole things around yourself that frees you and lets you be that type of person and do that. That, you know, like there is sometimes when fuck, te pone el alto. You know, whether it's a sign from above or from the universe, whether it's a sign from your mom or somebody that you embarrassed, or even just being embarrassed about it. Like, think that's gonna fucking traumatize you even more. I
can't be embarrassed because I don't remember shit.
Yeah.
All I know is that everybody was just like thinking that I did something until like, you know. So I think it was maybe a little bit of embarrassment, a little bit of just like waking
just
up,
not
like
knowing.
Yeah, not knowing.
Just not knowing.
And that's the thing. I know someone who kind of like lived that experience, and it was at a bar. And I remember like after I had like let days go by, I talked to her and I told her, and she's like, dude, like, that's crazy, like blah 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 blah. And then all I could remember, because based on her experience, I'm like, I'm just thankful I was with my mom.
Yeah,
I was with my mom, where my baby could be with my little brother in his room, and I just knocked the fuck out. And then my mom knocked the fuck out too. She fell asleep in the freaking floor. My mom has a bad back, and my mom has this big old couch. Why didn't she lay on the couch? And that's what she was just like, what the fuck? Trip. And then I still had Edwin go pick me up because I didn't want my parents to go drop me off at home. Like, I was there, but I wasn't. I don't remember. And I was like, no, I don't want to go home. Like, I don't want to go home. Like, Edwin's gonna pick me up. And thank God. Like, what if I would have like passed out and died, or I don't know, some shit, and my son is all alone, like at home? Like, I would never want to put my son in that
people
situation.
don't know what type of like medical things you have like in the background of your head. You know what I mean? Like, if you're taking medication or not. If you're, I mean, obviously if you're drinking, you're probably not taking
medication. Because it could have been, well, no, but it could have been on anything else. It could have been on my water. It could have been on my soda. It could have been on anything. It's just, I'm just gonna be little and always bring my little water.
So you're bringing
like,
your flask.
Hey,
hell yeah, girl.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Damn. So, I mean, anything to our viewers? Do you guys have any advice? Thank you guys for joining us. Damn, this is.
If you have any crazy stories like this, and want to come in and share it, let us know.
We'd
or
love to hear them.
Send them through email or something if you guys don't want to be on here too.
Email.
Our email is systeminplace2020@gmail.com.
There you go. And Works by V, how are you doing over there?
Oh, Works by V is doing amazing. I just opened my schedule up because my son's going back to school.
Oh, sweet.
I'm fucking booked.
Damn.
These people are savages. Like, fuck.
Hell yeah.
And then I've been doing this crazy thing, which hopefully none of my clients hear this because they'll be so fucked up. But I'm sorry if you do. I do this thing where I have a policy. I mean, you could call it my policy. Like, if you don't pay in 24 hours, because there's some people that are assholes and they don't want to pay, I cancel your appointment. I had a lady call me today and she's like, you canceled my appointment? And I was like, no, my system automatically canceled your appointment. If you don't pay in 24 hours, that opens up for anybody else. And she wanted it still the same day, same time. I'm like, somebody else already paid me. Like, I'm not going to cancel someone who already paid me. Like,
damn.
Goodbye.
It's the same as a DJ.
And then so I put her on a different day.
Put a deposit down for your date.
You have to.
Motherfuckers.
Or else it doesn't happen.
It doesn't happen. I don't send you your contract. It's not.
You're about to be hella busy.
Damn.
If you're not already, aren't you?
Yeah, I just had a meeting yesterday with the company that I work for DJing and stuff, and they're looking at a shitload of inquiries this year and even more coming up, and even myself too. I mean, I'm staying busy. I'm trying to just do as much as I can, and so I mean, yeah, hopefully it works out well this year. Well, looking to take some moves, bust some moves. Little.
Hi. I'm just enjoying the rest of the summer. Caleb don't start school till September 1st.
She's still in summer.
Buddy.
I'm still on summer break.
Summer mode.
Working on some things, but nothing that I want to say too much about right now.
Sweet. Thank you, girls, for always being here. You guys are mi casa su casa. Thank you to our listeners.
Huh? Late, but we're here.
Every Monday.
Every
other Monday.
Every other Monday now. Bye. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys. Thank you for joining us. Bye.